respect that China has shown to the world's markets, and that they're the ones really tanking it, I am hereby raising the tariff charge to China for the United States of America to 125% effective immediately. At some point, hopefully, in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. The real trade war has always been aimed at China. And so now Trump's got most of the agreements he wants. Now he can stop shaking the cage. Again, this has always been Trump's plan. He got the EU to agree 5 years ago, or 2018, 6 years ago, that they were going to do zero tariffs, but then they backed off of that. So it's the same thing again. This time he's actually got agreements from them. The real trade war has always been aimed at China. And so now Trump's got most of the agreements he wants. Now he can stop shaking the cage. But now he got China, who he warned. He said, if you retaliates, we're going to retaliate more. Well, China is really the only country that really retaliated. Canada ran their mouth about it, but never really did it. So Keir Starmer and the EU wisely knew the screw job's all one way against us. And so we had all the cards. But China is so belligerent that they now have their tariff almost up to 100%. So Trump's taking his to 125. And so this is going to be massive. So we saw the fake news Monday that it was a 90-day pause. And that's because sources in the White House, we now know, were talking about it. Trump said not yet. That was a leak. That caused the market to shoot up just for the hour until it got denied massively. But look, the market's just a gambling system. What matters is real jobs back here to America, and we have all the cards because we still have the world reserve currency. We have the best energy system, even though it's been downgraded and hurt a lot on the left by the green fraud. And we have the fact that we're the biggest market in the world still, but not for long. It was being diminished. We were sinking. I know I keep repeating that because it's so critical. That's why Trump's trying to get as many countries in an alliance with us to boost up our balance sheet. If we were bankrupt, we can grow our way and innovate our way out of it easily. And Trump's got a lot of other tricks up his sleeve as well, like pegging the currency partially to gold, raising the price from $44 an ounce, the government sees it as, just to the current 3,000 plus, and that will create trillions. So this is the only move we have, and so it's the perfect move, and it's a great move, and we've been managed directly into this slavery. So they're going to say, oh, Trump capitulates, blah, blah, blah. No, these countries came and agreed, and these countries have now signed deals, most of them, and said they're going to do that. And then if they don't follow through, he just places it back on. But it's good cop, bad cop stuff. It's carrot and the stick stuff that is going on. So to read what President Trump said, based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's markets, and that they're the ones really tanking it, I am hereby raising the tariff charge to China for the United States of America to 125% effective immediately. At some point, hopefully, in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Conversely, based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, including the Department of Commerce, Treasury, and the USTR, to negotiate a solution to the subjects being discussed related to trade, the trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulation, and non-monetary tariffs, that these countries have not at any strong suggestion retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the United States. I have authorized a 90-day pause, and the sustainability lowered reciprocal tariffs during the period of 10%. Also effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So they're not all completely gone, but he's lowered them. So it's all carrot and the stick. Trump already said, hey, the deals we brought forward are for about half the ripoff you're doing to us. And I've looked at all the numbers. They're really accurate, other than some of these countries are so small. Of course, they're going to have a trade deficit. Some of these countries only import a couple foods to us, a couple plants. And they're so some of that's been a little bit ham-fistedly done, but that's the way this works. And that stuff's getting dialed back right now. That's one reason Musk has been pissed off at Navarro. I'm not saying Navarro's bad. I think Navarro's a great guy and loyal. It's just that some of that stuff's been a little ham-fisted. But you know what? Action is ham-fisted sometimes in some respects. It's better than laying down and getting raped. Elon has said that we're going to make mistakes in this action, but we're going to admit those mistakes when they happen instead of covering them up or actually using mistakes for more control. So that's really the big news there. Massive news. Very, very excited about it.